Grand Hotel. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert with the Fight Doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. Following 2 postponements, the WBA Lightweight Championship will finally take place here today as the champion, Livingstone Bramble, defends that title against the #1 contender, Tyrone the Butterfly Crawley. Ferdy, you look at these 2 fighters. In terms of inside the ring, very similar in style, but outside the ring, they are on opposite wavelengths.
They certainly are. Bramble is one of the authentic characters in boxing. The man has pit bulls. He sleeps with a snake, whereas on the other side, you see a very determined and no-frills kind of executive. He's planned his career. He's gotten to where he wants to be at the right time, and so we have the character against the executive.
All right, from the boxing point of view, though, let's take it by category.
All right, let's start with power. Bramble, no question, has the power. He has knockout power. Movement, Crawley definitely has foot movement. Counter-punching, Bramble is a better counter-puncher, but Crawley's right there next to him. It's very even. Hand speed, I have to give it to Crawley. He's a butterfly, and he's just a flurry of punches. Attitude, Bramble is going to try to get Crawley out of his game plan and try to flurry and knock him out. Crawley's big problem is to stay within his game plan to box in order to win by a decision.
And we'll take a close-up look at the champion, Livingstone Bramble, as NBC's Sports World continues. On Fight Time. Arrogant, eccentric, egotistical, and unpredictable are just a few words used to describe the WBA lightweight champion, Livingstone Bramble. Hailed as the Rastafarian of the Virgin Islands, Bramble's first major win came against Kenny Bang Bang Bogner as his razor-sharp punching stopped Bogner in the 7th round. 2 fights later, Bramble faced Anthony Fletcher, the southpaw from Philadelphia. Pitting his punching power against Fletcher's jab and footwork, Bramble met his first and only pro defeat. 12 fights later, Bramble met and defeated Panama's Rafael Williams, forcing Ray Boom Boom Mancini into a mandatory title defense. Bramble taunted the champion during the pre-fight publicity and then proceeded to take him apart. Both of Mancini's eyes were cut in the early rounds, and by virtue of counterpunching and switching over to southpaw, Bramble stopped Mancini in round 14. Mancini's beating caused such alarm that he underwent an extensive physical examination to determine if he could safely continue to box. Receiving a clean bill of health, Mancini faced Bramble again. This time, the fight went the distance, but with the same result. Livingstone Bramble retained his title.
Mancini fight was tough, but there was a tougher fight afterwards when the commission checked your urine and felt there was an illegal substance which proved out to be a Chinese herb. Now, in this fight, you being a Rastafarian and the Rastafarians using ganja, smoking ganja as part of the sacraments, will there be a problem with the urine before or after the fight this time?
No, I don't think it's going to present a problem because in my previous fight, I have lived the same life that I've been living. I went through the same procedures I did last time when I fought Ray Mancini, and it didn't come in my urine then, so I don't think it'll involve in this. My Rastafarian faith have nothing to do with what I put inside of me except everything from the ground, and that's my belief.
Most of your career you've been with the championship corner of Lou Duva, Georgie Benton, and Ace Murata. You've changed several corners. Now you come to a corner that you enjoy and you like. Will the change of corners with Lee Black in command be a factor in this fight?
Well, you have heard Duva quote, Bramble doesn't listen to anybody, including himself, so that should answer a big question. Mainly, I train hard. I've listened to my new trainer, adopted trainer, Lee Black, because Tommy Parks had an operation and he couldn't work, and me and Lee Black is united. We were together. I met him in the gym, and Lee Black will be with me throughout my career from now on. He's a great fighter. He's been around many champions. I know you know him himself, and I don't think it's going to affect me. I think what's going to affect them is the change of attitude and the change of lifestyle. And, you know, just this fight, I want this fight for me, not for the Rastafarians, not for my kid, not for my family. I want this one for me, to show the Duvers exactly what the pit bull have inside of him.
Dr. Freddie
Pacheco. We are moments away from fight time with WBA lightweight champion Livingstone Bramble getting set to defend his title against Tyrone Crawley, Philadelphia's fast-punching lightweight. He moved on to contenders row as quickly as his footwork propels him around the ring. With victories over Al Carter and a rugged Gene Hatcher, Crawley looked for his shot at the crown. But then in February of 1983, a surprising setback halted Crawley's drive for the championship when he lost on a decision to Melvin Paul. Regrouping, Crawley recorded 2 quick wins in a row and aimed his sights for the division's top-ranked contender, Robin Blake. In Lebanon, Texas, Blake's hometown, Crawley came away with the decision. In his last outing, Crawley met Charlie Choo-Choo Brown with the USBA title riding on the outcome. To the surprise of everyone, Crawley abandoned his style of move counterpunch and went toe-to-toe with Brown. In 12 rounds, Crawley had taken the belt and moved a step closer to Livingstone Bramble.
Tyrone, you had difficulty with your right hand. You had tendonitis, had to postpone the fight last time. How's the hand this time?
Well, the hand is fine, Freddie. That's why I'm here.
How do you expect to beat Bramble by decision, which is how you're picked to beat him by a decision, if the champion usually wins all close decisions?
Well, I'm a mistaken move, and I feel if I do my job correctly each round, as we planned on to win each round one by one, there's no way I could lose.
27-year-old Tyrone Crawley is in the ring and awaiting the entrance of the champion, Livingstone Bramble. Crawley says he's looking to float all day long. He says he does want to be a butterfly with a bit more sting. He would like to build up the punching power, and Bramble says Crawley might float like a butterfly, but his sting is more like that of a mosquito than a bee. Bramble saying that Crawley has no punch, so we shall see. Crawley with the record of 19-1, only 6 by knockout as he awaits the entrance of the champion.
We're not a company, but we'll give you a chance to work where there's always a challenge.
Tyrone Crawley, the challenger, in the ring and awaiting the appearance of Livingstone Bramble. And here he comes. 25 years old, a native of the Virgin Islands, now lives in Montclair, New Jersey. Livingstone Bramble, the 2nd world champion from the Virgin Islands. The first, the one-time welterweight and middleweight champ, Emil Griffith. Here comes Livingstone Bramble. Record of 23-1-1. 14 by knockout. Last fight, April of '85, that 15-round decision over Ray Mancini here in Reno to successfully defend his WBA lightweight crown. In June of '84, he pulled off the stunner by taking the title, stopping Mancini in the 14th round. Tyrone Crawley has had to wait in the ring for several minutes. Apparently, Bramble playing games, taking his time and coming out.
And to new Bramble, he's very quiet and subdued. The entrance, usually so loud and boisterous, is almost funereal. He's just coming in extremely quiet. As Crawley came in, looked like a Mardi Gras parade. He came in with huge butterflies and a lot of action.
So Bramble now making his way out of the steps, and here he is. Livingstone Bramble set to defend his WBA lightweight championship against Tyrone Crawley. We'll be right back.
The Champions, presented by long-lasting Old Spice stick deodorant and solid antiperspirant.
Then I really realized that what I really wanted to do was to become a champion of the world. In winning the Maxim match, I was happy, but I did not show it. I was cool. I wanted my dad to see me win the fight. I wanted my mother to see me win the fight. I won the fight.
Once guys try the 24-hour protection of Old Spice Solid, they may give up their usual antiperspirant mid-stick.
You're done? Only used twice. very short strokes.
Fact is, none of these solid antiperspirants help stop wetness as well as Old Spice Solid. These deodorant sprays can't block odor better than Old Spice Stick. So switch now.
Sarge, for you. Hardly used. Kind of like your comb.
Switch to 24-hour Old Spice, antiperspirant or deodorant.
Well, the champion Livingstone Bramble certainly milking his entrance. Both fighters are now in the ring. We're set for the introductions. Let's join with ring announcer Chuck Ho.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the MGM Grand Hotel in Reno, Nevada, where today Top Rank Incorporated, in association with the MGM, presents the Grand Slam, an afternoon of World Championship Boxing. These bouts are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Freddie Little Chairman. Commissioners at ringside, Mr. Dwayne Ford, Herb Santos, and Sammy Macias. Harold Buck, the executive director. The matchmaker is Mel Greb. The officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for the main event of the afternoon. The judges are Dave Moretti of Nevada, Hector Hernandez of Mexico, and Harmondio Cedeno of Panama. Your referee is Joey Curtis. This is the main event of the afternoon. 15 rounds of boxing for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing, in the red corner, fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 134 3/4 pounds, with a professional record of 19 wins, 1 defeat, with 6 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Tyrone, the butterfly, Crawley. And in the blue corner, from Mount Clair, New Jersey, weighing 135 pounds. His professional record consists of 23 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, 14 KOs. Here is the WBA lightweight champion of the world, Livingstone, the Pitbull, Bramble.
The referee, Joey Curtis.
I gave you your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to abide by them. Like I said before, in case of a knockdown, you go to the neutral corner. You stay there until I tell you to come out. Watch your low blows. My tappies on the back. I want you to break clean. Shake hands. Let's have a good fight. Come here.
Oh, Bramble refusing to shake hands. He walked away.
What are you going to do?
And under WBA rules, scoring on the 10-point must system, no 3 knockdown rule. The bell cannot save the fighter except in the final round. There is a mandatory 8, no standing 8. Round 1, and we're underway. It's scheduled for 15, and Crawley coming out on the attack.
So much for chess. These two guys went right at it. Of course, that is Bramble's game plan, not Tyrone Crawley, so interesting development almost immediately.
Can you see this continuing with Crawley changing his style, looking to get brave against Bramble?
No, I can't. I don't see it's to his advantage, and I don't think he needs to do that more than a round or 2.
By Tyrone Crawley. Crawley in the red. Bramble with rather colorful trunks.
Ghastly but colorful. And ghastly but colorful shoes. And the butterfly, taking a page out of the old butterfly, Muhammad Ali, has tassels on his shoe, which makes him look like he is moving at high speed. Bramble working the body. Crawley is just taking those shots on the arms and the side, and that could be a mistake.
This is a fight that was postponed on 2 occasions. A stress fracture in Bramble's left hand led to the first postponement last May. In October, called off again when Crawley injured his right hand. We're halfway through round number 1, scheduled for 15 for the WBA lightweight title.
Crawley has now thought the better of that trench fighting and gone back out to what he can do best. Jab, stick, move, runs, give him all kind of angles. Bramble highly determined in this first round. Bramble is trying to establish his superiority almost immediately.
Good combination by Bramble.
Crawley is forgotten what's gotten him here, which is fine boxing and fine boxing style. Willing to take more punches than is necessary against Bramble, who's more than happy to oblige.
Crawley's last fight last June, he won. Oh, good right hand by Bramble. Crawley won the USBA lightweight title by taking a 12-round decision over Choo-Choo Brown. His one defeat, lost by decision to Melvin Paul. That was back in February of '83. Since then, he's won 8 in a row. Biggest win, a decision over Robin Blake, Blake's hometown of Levelland, Texas.
Look at the face of Tyrone Crawley. His eyes are wide open. He's got a sort of anxious look about him, which he didn't have prior to the open. He looked very confident. All of a sudden, he gets a little wild-eyed.
And that is it. Round one. We'll be back here in Reno in just a moment.
Get this. Lists of people who eat Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Who still eats those?
Charles Bronson.
Eats Corn Flakes.
So does Christy Brinkley.
George Brett. Beach Boy.
All of them?
George Benson.
Robbie Benson. Eats Corn Flakes.
Yes!
Good old Kellogg's Corn Flakes. They're great taste and solid nutrition come as no surprise.
Diane Carroll.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
You guys getting hungry?
Yes!
The surprise is the people who eat them.
How about those Kellogg's Corn Flakes now?
The Bears mauled the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
But are they the super team?
The Patriots ambushed the Dolphins.
But are they the super team?
The best of the AFC battles the best of the NFC.
The Dodge Super Teams on NBC Sports World. You're gonna love our style.
The ring here in Reno was originally 20 feet, but Bramble complained and it was restructured as now 18.5 feet.
He figures he can work much better within 18 feet. He also said, when I fought Mancini, he was the champion. He dictated the size of the ring. Now, I got an agreement that it's 18 feet. I'm not stepping in unless it is 18 feet. I'm the champion. And, of course, they obliged him. No further problems.
And he did settle for 18.5 feet, which means a very large ring apron area. How did you score the opening round?
I had it for Bramble. Bramble landing the more effective punches, dictating it, fighting his kind of fight. Crawley in a sort of indecisive first round where he didn't know whether to go to box or stand and punch.
Again, Bramble with the combination. Bramble and the multi-colored. And Crawley took a good shot, and that is being called a knockdown. He also lost his balance. He says he's all right.
7, 8.
That was sort of a bounce down. He got hit a good shot, but his reflexes as such, he bounced up before he virtually hit the canvas. But he now knows the kind of power that Bramble's got.
And Bramble looking to tee off with the right hand.
A mistake, not getting off those ropes, not getting that distance between he and Bramble. The only thing that stopped Bramble just then is a momentary tiredness.
That is the time remaining in the round. This is round 2. It is scheduled for 15. Bramble had predicted several weeks ago that it will not go past 8 and was quoted as saying, "I'll bite him if I have to end it at round 8.
Well, he may not need to bite him because he's sure catching Crawley now, and Crawley's going to be lucky to survive this.
Crawley is hurt.
He's so hurt, he doesn't know how to get out of there and get distance between them. He's standing there and obliging Bramble. Bramble's smiling at him, like saying, "I got you now." He's doing everything but barking at him.
Crawley trying to get up on his toes, looking to shake his way out of this second round difficulty.
Bramble playing possum just then. Letting Crawley get brave and then trying to land that one punch.
Final seconds, second round. Crawley able to hang on.
little bit. We got to stick and move, baby. That's what we got to do on him, all right? Couple more rounds. Stick and move. Don't get no slugfest with him.
Billy Hayward in the corner of Tyrone Crawley, and let us take a look at that brief knockdown that took place here in the second round.
That was a nice chopping right hand. Now you see he's just kind of crawling around the ring. His reflexes such don't let him go down. But in the corner, we have heard them tell him he's getting tired. Bramble's getting tired. Now that's an optimistic way to look at it at that corner, at that round.
Tuck it out. Tuck it out.
Livingstone Bramble, the WBA lightweight champion. His only loss back in August of '81, he dropped an 8-round decision to Anthony Fletcher, the younger brother of Frank the Animal Fletcher. And we're on to round 3. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. We're live on Sports World from Reno, Nevada.
Blazing first 2 rounds, and we have seen Crawley's mistaken strategy in trying to punch with a champion, because the champion, Bramble, is determined and has much heavier artillery than does Tyrone Crawley.
When you look at the impressive career of Tyrone Crawley, certainly the downside is the lack of knockout power. He's not a big hitter. He has worked to improve the punching power, but he does have 3 knockouts his last 5 fights, and changed his style going on the attack in his last bout against Choo Choo Brown, and he tried to come out on the attack here in round 1.
Bad mistake against a guy who can punch as hard as Bramble. We've seen that. Let's see how he follows his corner's advice to box, move around, and just win this round. He's certainly blown the first 2 big. If his cornerman is correct, that is the first time he's gone down as Tyrone Crawley in his entire career.
And the butterfly style of Tyrone Crawley has not been able to do much thus far against Livingstone Bramble.
Bramble dictating. This entire fight so far has been all of what Bramble wants to do. Crawley weakly reacting against it and ineffectively reacting against Bramble. But that's because he's gotten out of his game plan. This is his game plan. Punch, punch, and run.
Confirmation that was indeed the first time that Crawley has ever gone down.
Punching continued while Joey Curtis was trying to separate them. Curtis admonished both fighters. None of that when I'm trying to break you. Curtis must establish himself early in this fight, because this is going to get ugly. Bramble is very determined to knock out Tyrone Crawley here. All his punches have KO written on them.
Closing in on the end of round 3.
Nice and easy. I want a clean break.
And a better round for Tyrone Crawley. We'll be right back.
We're not a company.
But we recognize potential. We develop it. We use it.
We'll make sure that as your responsibility grows, so will you.
As your ability for leadership grows, so will you.
Working with us, you'll gain self-confidence.
Become a person with a future.
We're not a company.
We're your country.
We're the Marines.
The Army.
The Navy.
The Air Force.
We're the armed forces.
It's a great place to start.
Hey, Pete. Going to town with us? Nah, go ahead. Think you had a little trouble. We can take care of it.
A day off is something real special, but so's a good neighbor.
Going into town with us, Pete?
Bush. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush.
Head for Bush beer.
Head for the mountains.
Tyrone Crawley remaining on his stool the final second. Livingstone Bramble standing in his corner. He was ready as they come out for this 4th round and scheduled for 15 for the WBA Lightweight Championship. in the second round. First time he's been put down in his career. There are similarities in their style, both unorthodox. Both give you all kinds of different looks, different angles. Both like to switch up, going from orthodox to southpaw.
Right now, that's been meaningless, whether they're southpaw or not, because they're both just flailing away with very little art. Look at this. Very little art, two hands just forward. He could be left-handed or right-handed here. Wouldn't make any difference. And the same thing for Crawley.
Bramble laughing off that combination thrown by Crawley. Combination.
That's what builds the points, and that's what he's got to do, because he got well behind in the first two rounds. Those first two rounds could work against Bramble as the fight goes on. That's given him such courage. He's disregarded anything he figures he can knock him out. And this other guy, Crawley, can build up points just doing what he's doing right now. Just what you're looking at.
Tyrone Crawley, very quick, slick, has great poise. Inventive in the ring. One of his cornermen said he might annoy his way to the title.
Now, if Bramble loses his concentration and gets frustrated at not landing those big bombs, he will blow all the middle rounds, because Crawley will do this for 15 straight rounds without even breaking a sweat. Crawley fights with the patience of a man used to going to decision. Bramble's fighting with the impatience of a man who knows he can knock the guy out and have to stay here.
And the crowd rises with that left hook landed by Crawley.
Now watch all the movement and angles that Crawley gives. When Crawley's going good, he switches back and forth. He gives you different angles.
Crawley has been the crowd favorite here. Livingstone Bramble, to put it diplomatically, is an eccentric personality. Among his hobbies, proud of a bizarre animal collection that includes, as we mentioned earlier, pit bulls and boa constrictors and pythons. He has a pet snake named Dog, and a pet dog named Snake.
If you're confident up north, raise your hand. If you're confident in Dixie, raise your hand. If you're sure from east to west, sure is one you love the best, raise your hand if you're sure.
From the bleachers to the Met, Sure goes on feeling dry, not wet, and helps keep you feeling dry and confident all day, anywhere.
Confident, dry and secure. Raise your hand if you're sure.
You expect a hemorrhoid medicine to relieve pain and itch, but you get an extra therapeutic action with Preparation H. It helps speed relief to inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue with oxygen action. A special medicine in Preparation H accelerates the absorption of pure oxygen to help shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue fast. And of course, Preparation H often relieves pain and itch for hours. When you choose a hemorrhoid medicine, remember, oxygen action is special with Preparation H.
This time, Livingstone Bramble taking the respite, staying on his stool throughout. And this is round 5. Tyrone Crawley was warned by referee Joey Curtis. Of course, the butterfly in action. He was warned about holding, and Curtis said he'll take points away from Crawley if it continues.
He also warned him about showboating. Right at the end of the round, he did that circular thing that Ali's done and that Sugar Ray Leonard's done before they throw a punch, and he said none of that showboating, just straight fighting.
How do you score it?
So far, I've got it very close, 38 to 37. Bramble ahead because he had a 10-8 round in the second when there was a knockdown.
Scoring on the 10-point must system under the WBA championship rules. And being handled by the judges, Dave Moretti, Hector Hernandez, and Amadeo Cedeno. Moretti from Las Vegas, Hernandez from Mexico, Cedeno from Panama.
Bramble walking right to him, trying to put that jab in there, hooks to the body. And if Crawley stands still to receive the punch. That's all in Bramble's favor. If he moves away and dances and does his number, then you can see Crawley winning these rounds one at a time.
Bramble also made the point. I think he's rehearsed his lines. He said a butterfly can't fly backwards.
But Ali proved that it could.
Solid right hand by Bramble.
As strategy begins to come forth in this fight, as it wears on, you got to wonder what Bramble's going to do about a corner. So far, his corner's been very quiet. Lee Black saying to him, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep a jab on him and keep doing it. No big instruction or anything. Wonder how much they'll miss Tommy Parks. We at NBC Sports wish Tommy Parks a speedy recovery. He is a former trainer. He's still going to be the trainer when he comes back. He's recovering from pulmonary surgery and is expected to return to the ring wars pretty soon.
Bramble getting the combination going upstairs. And Crawley able to connect. And Crawley looking confident again up on his toes.
Still that look of fierce determination on the face of Livingstone Bramble. He just looks so determined to land those punches.
Punch in there, come on, you got a head frame.
Good finish here. And a good round for Crawley.
For the camel.
Well, sir, here is a fine specimen.
Don't you have something in the newer model?
Wait, let me check the home office.
If you're a businessman who wants to do more business, look into microcomputer products from Hayes. Because a Hayes communication system gives you access to data to make important decisions.
Yes. Would you prefer one hump or two?
Say yes to the future with Hayes.
Forget everything you know about shaving and get ready for the extraordinary. Extra Rich Edge Gel with more rich moisturizers and 40% more lubricant than the leading foam. So you get down where you want to be. Close and feel good about it. Smooth. Comfortable. Extra Rich Edge Gel. It's not your ordinary shave.
And this is round 6. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Bertie Pacheco, from the MGM Grand Hotel in Reno, Nevada. Should be pointed out that we are being heard in stereo today. How did that affect your preparation?
I warbled a few notes from Aida before I came in here, but I think we'll do all right in stereo, Mark.
And the fight doing all right. There are many that feared that it could be a bore because of the similar styles of Crawley and Bramble. Bramble did put Crawley down briefly in the second round. And what does the fight doctor scorecard show through the 6th?
That is an even fight now, 47 to 47, quite unofficially. You have to remember, these are really close rounds. And the 3 judges from foreign countries will be looking at the boxing capability of Tyrone Crawley because they love good boxing.
One of the judges from Las Vegas, which can be considered a foreign country.
Yeah.
And the others from Mexico and Panama.
Guy from Vegas likes action. Vintage Tyrone Crawley just then. He's been doing, this round has been the old Tyrone Crawley. Duck, move, come back with combinations.
Halfway through, 6th round. And the left hand of Crawley landing.
And some of the aggressiveness and steam of Bramble have gone. He is now more frustrated, more slowed down, waiting for Crawley to come back down, make mistakes, and fight with him.
Tyrone Crawley, a one-time Army paratrooper. He was is studying criminal justice at Temple University. Plans to return to college to finish up. The son of a former Philadelphia police officer. And Crawley has been accepted at the City of Philadelphia's Police Academy, and he's postponing that career option for now.
Very good round for Tyrone Crawley just now.
And here's Bramble on the attack. Final seconds, round 6. We'll be right back.
The great thermostat war, the battle that goes on the moment the temperature goes down. Certainteed fiberglass insulation can help defend your home against little family feuds and not so little energy bills. So get plenty of Certainteed fiberglass insulation and bundle up your attic right now. You can also get a free gift like a telephone, a headphone radio, or a fuel and tool kit. This winter, bundle up with Certainteed and call a truce at the thermostat.
We're not a company, but outstanding people come to us every day. People who want to make a contribution to a team and do work that really counts. People eager to see new places, do the unusual, and find the unusual. People who become your friends for life. People just like you. We're not a company, we're your country. We're the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Army. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
Referee Joey Curtis just took a point away from Livingstone Bramble, who connected after the bell.
Well, without a warning, I'm not so sure in a championship fight that's the right thing to do. In fact, his corner, Bramble's corner, said thanks for the warning in what I took to be a mild bit of sarcasm.
And Bramble comes out strong. Crawley has picked up the pace the last couple of rounds.
Incredible how a corner can see things. His corner said to Bramble, you've won every round. You're pitching a shutout. Well, that may not be so. With a close fight, that point that Joey Curtis took away for punching after the bell, which was not, in my opinion, flagrant enough to warrant that, could be the difference in this fight.
Come on, Jeff! You can punch it in, don't hold on. You can punch it, make your hands free.
And Crawley's corner upset. They mentioned to the ref Curtis between rounds, watch out for Bramble's head, referring to Bramble's Rastafarian dreadlocks.
And they're right. His head is full of knots, and that has an abrasive effect.
Very pretty combination by Crawley. He got between the gloves of Bramble.
And you see that little flurry, which was so beautiful in combination, neutralized all the hard punching that Bramble did, coming in short little jerky punches. The fight is getting very interesting from a judging standpoint, because what you're seeing is a guy desperate for a knockout, really going at it hard, and a guy that can box an awful lot with a great deal of patience, knowing he's going the whole 15.
Good combination by Bramble. Livingstone Bramble saying a couple of weeks ago, if it goes seconds into the 8th round and he does not stop him by then, he will fight Crawley if he has to. We have set up our special fight cam camera to check it out in the 8th round.
Now look at that exchange. That was 28 unanswered punches by Bramble, and then all of a sudden, Crawley flurried with 18 punches to come back. If you're counting punches with a computer, you got to go crazy with this kind of fight.
Hey, loose him. Put him back on top.
Tyrone Crawley was put down briefly in the 2nd round, but he certainly picked it up from round 3 on. We'll be back here in Reno after these words.
Which cereal has more vitamin nutrition than any other?
Kellogg's Product 19 cereal, but you'd never guess.
Oh.
Because Product 19 vitamins are flaky, bumpy, crispy, crunchy, and taste so good. Product 19 goodness comes from corn, oats, wheat, and rice.
Delicious.
Kellogg's Product 19.
Flaky.
Bumpy.
Crispy. Crunchy.
Mmm. Tasty vitamins.
Wash and go with Perks. Got too much you're busy doing to fuss around with your shampooing. Keep your hair on the go with you. Wash and go with Perks. You want a shampoo works as hard as you. Wash and go with Perks.
Perch shampoo has a drop of conditioner, so you just wash and go with great hair and no fuss.
Wash and go with Perks.
And this is round 8. Marv Albert, Bertie Pacheco from Reno, Nevada. Tyrone Crawley with a very impressive display, coming on strong the last 3 rounds.
Except that last round, Bramble, I thought, took it because after that warning that he'd lost the point, he heated up the action. His punches were stronger. He punched many times in a greater number than Crawley, and he dominated that round. Crawley, in the meantime, has tried to stick to the game plan of punching and running.
Keep up there, Bramble. Keep up there. Let him rest. Don't let him rest.
Livingstone Bramble claiming that he would take out Crawley by the 8th round, or he would fight him, as mentioned before. And our crack technical crew, headed by director Bob Levy and producer Peter Ruff, with a television first, an NBC fight cam, just in case. These fellows are very sick in the trunk.
Those technical wonders never cease.
There you go.
He also said that he gets so inspired watching his dogs fight that he feels like barking during a match, and had he barked earlier, you'd have knocked out Mancini earlier. I don't know what he's waiting for. He should be barking along about now, because this fight's even on my unofficial scorecard. Hard fight to judge.
Do it again.
Halfway through round 8. Livingstone Bramble of the multicolored trunks, 25 years old, a native of the Virgin Islands, now living in Montclair, New Jersey. He is the 2nd world champ from the Virgin Islands, preceded by Emil Griffith. One time welterweight and middleweight title holder.
5 world titles that Emil Griffith holds. Yes, Griffith.
Tyrone Crawley in the red, 27 years old, out of Philadelphia, calls himself a thinking man's fighter. Record of 19-1, but only 6 knockouts, and that was a question coming in. Crawley put down for the first time in his career back in the 2nd round. Very quick to get up, was a combination of a punch from Bramble, and Crawley lost his balance. Nice right hand by Bramble.
There again, that was a great right hand that builds up points, but he had just been jabbed like 6 or 7 straight good jabs by Crawley. How do you call that?
Crawley not able to connect.
And losing his head, trying to battle with Bramble when he should stick to that running.
That is it. Round 8, notice the referee, Joey Curtis, very quick to get in there.
Where you going, it's Michelob. There's a style in your life.
Hi. I'm glad you're here.
Hey, how did the doors turn out? All right.
Where you going, you always know it.
No other beer is brewed and aged like exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you going, it's Michelob.
Make that jab quicker, champ. Okay, fellas, let's start moving out. Quick hands.
Lee Black in the corner of Livingstone Bramble. Bramble actually acting as his own manager. This is his second title defense after severing ties with Lou Duva. Bramble said he was kept in the shadows of America's heroes, the 1984 Olympic gold medal winners, managed by Duva. Of course, Duva has a different point of view. He says he bailed Bramble out of many a difficult situation and brought him to the championship.
Probably a lot of merit to both sides of the argument. I'd like to be in a room when Bramble argues with himself as manager.
And as you saw, we went through a fightless 8th round. And Bramble launching powerful blows to the body to back up Crawley.
Bramble has been regaining control of this fight over the last several rounds, over the last 2 rounds, as he has relentlessly turned the fight around to the way he wants to fight. And Crawley has forgotten to get away. Bramble's hand hooked into the rope, but Crawley failed to take advantage.
This is scheduled for 15 for the WBA lightweight championship. Good hook by Crawley.
Great uppercut by Crawley. He lifted the head. There's a little mouse under the right eye of the champion, Bramble. He has been eating that jab all night long. Something had to give.
Talking about adding to his punching power. You think you need more leverage. Can someone improve their punching power?
No, they can't. That's a fallacy. You got it or you don't. Although I've seen many boxers without a punching power knock a lot of people out because of his superior boxing skill. Luis Manuel Rodriguez comes to mind. A man that fought everybody from welterweight to light heavyweight, knocked them all out and couldn't budge.
Doing it by an accumulation of punches.
Now look at that. Crawley cannot permit that. That's all Bramble.
And look at the stain on the face. Crawley was able to get in effectively.
Those uppercuts are a thing of beauty. A difficult punch to throw and a difficult punch to land. Crawley has been able to do it. If he had a significant punch, that would have been doing some damage to Bramble.
Blows delivered by Livingstone Bramble.
Why, oh why, is Crawley standing there when he has got the wheels to get out?
Joey Curtis, the referee, screaming, "Watch your heads," looking to prevent butting.
All the right parts in all the right places. Napa's putting smiles on American faces.
Napa means auto parts, so dependable they may be the best part of your car. More than 100,000 parts for import and domestic vehicles are available through over 6,500 Napa stores all across the country. Or get Napa quality at garages and service outlets where you see the Napa sign. Wherever you go, Napa's the one.
All the right parts in all the right places. Napa.
Your resume is fine, but the interview's on the line, cause
I feel a cold sore coming on. Campofonique Cold Sore Gel works on developing cold sores to help speed healing. Campofonique Gel helps stop cold sores from stopping you.
Dad, my nose is stuffy.
Oh, you caught my cold. Neosynephrine cleared up my nose right away. See? And there's neosynephrine for your nose, too.
Neosynephrine. Nothing's faster or more effective. It lets you breathe a lot easier.
And this is round 10 back in Reno, Nevada, second part of our sports doubleheader here on NBC. Tough loss for Notre Dame earlier, losing by 1 at Duke. David Rivers having a shot blocked in the final seconds by Johnny Dawkins. And stay tuned for golf action, the Hawaiian Open following Bramble and Crawley. That'll be from the Waialae Country Club in Honolulu, Hawaii. That is next here on NBC Sports.
Last 3 rounds have seen Livingstone Bramble begin to hug his championship belt dearly because he has been back in command of the pace of the fight. And Crawley has not seemed to put his game plan into operation, a game plan which saw him win round 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Whether he's standing still because he has lost his resources or because that heavy pounding that Bramble has been doing in the body has robbed him of his legs is something to see, but he's certainly not dancing. Those tassels have not jumped in a long time.
Crawley has succeeded with the uppercut from time to time. I remind you, scoring is on the 10-point must system, and it's handled by the 3 judges. Referee Joey Curtis does not take part in the judging.
Let's go again.
Bramble is fighting with a little smile on his face. Just like a Chester pussycat there, just waiting for the mistake that he knows is going to come on the part of Tyrone Crawley so he can hammer it.
And we're down to 1 minute left in the 10th round. It is slated for 15. The WBA Lightweight Championship. A title that Bramble wrested from Ray Boom Boom Mancini, and then successfully defended back in April of '85 by a 15-round decision over Mancini. Picking up.
30 seconds.
Bramble and Crawley came out at close quarters at the opening bell. Bramble did put Crawley down in the second round. Crawley with a spurt, but now Bramble coming right back.
The more things cost, the better they are. That's not always true. Consider Barbasol. Barbasol has as thick and rich a lather as any other leading foam, but Barbasol can cost half as much as the higher-priced foams. Consider also Barbasol Glide Stick Deodorant. It has a fresh, clean scent like any deodorant should, but Barbasol can cost as much as $1 less than the high-priced sticks. Barbasol Shave Cream and Barbasol Glide Stick. Great toiletries for a lot less money.
I don't know. What are you going to do? I don't know. I'd go to college.
Me too.
If I had the money.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? I don't know. What are you going to do? You don't want those fries.
What are you going to do, Jack? Eat your way to college?
Really? I'm going to college on the new GI Bill. You serve full-time in the armed forces or part-time in the reserves, and you earn a lot of money for tuition.
The new GI Bill.
Are you using that pickle?
Now for young men and women in the armed forces. It's a great place to start. See your local recruiter.
And this is round 11. A fight that was postponed twice. A stress fracture in Bramble's left hand led to the first postponement last May. And in October, again called off, Crawley injuring his right hand. It's scheduled for 15. And what does the fight doctor scorecard tell us?
Quite unofficially, 96-93, the champion Livingstone Bramble rather comfortably ahead because he's holding all the aces. He's got the knockout punch. He's ahead. All he's got to do is keep chasing Crawley. For Crawley to overcome this lead now, he must take all of these rounds.
Now Bramble back to stalking Crawley.
There you go, again.
He lands the right hand on the chin.
The key difference of the two men is Bramble is fearless. He just does not believe the other guy can hurt him. And Crawley is fighting a rather fearful fight. And I don't mean fearful in that sense. I mean, he is so cautious. He keeps watching where those gloves are going. Mindful of the fact that he can get knocked out, whereas Bramble cannot.
Bertie, during the pre-fight interview, you made reference to Bramble smoking ganja. What exactly is that?
Ganja is a marijuana-like leaf that's rolled into thick ropes and smoked as part of the Rastafarian ritual in church. I thought his answer was pretty well taken. He's passed every exam thus far, and therefore it should not be a problem.
Now a minute 15 left in this 11th round. Things have been getting testy following the bell in each round, and the referee, Joey Curtis, very quick to step between. There was one late hit thrown by Bramble, and it cost him a point.
It's a good thing Joey Curtis didn't referee all the Mustafa Hamsho fights, and we saw those disasters after the bell.
Bramble has that right hand.
You go, champ.
Bramble kind of slowing down, not particularly anxious as he was in the last 2-3 rounds to knock him out. It's just kind of chasing him, letting the round go by.
And again, it is Bramble on the attack. And that'll do it for round 11.
In rooms like this, decisions are made. Sometimes they decide on a computer company. These decisions add up. Sperry now has the second largest installed base of computer systems in the world. What does that mean today? It means $17 billion worth of decisions won't come back to haunt this place tomorrow.
Just a little north of Boston, in the old town of Marblehead, is a place where only local people used to eat. But the scallopini and the scampi were so good that word soon got out that a night in Rosalie's was like a night in Milan. But if you go there, remember, bring a big appetite and bring your Visa card. Because at Rosalie's, they don't take no for an answer, and they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Some support here from Philadelphia for Tyrone Crawley as we open up round 12, scheduled for 15.
Last round, a rather pacific round in which neither fighter did anything of remark or note.
Crowd of about 4,500 here at the MGM Grand Hotel in Reno, Nevada. And a good portion of the crowd chanting for Crawley. Referee Joey Curtis had difficulty getting out of the way. He set a pick to Bramble.
He's standing still. When he should be moving and throwing punches and bunches and trying to capture the round, because obviously the champion knows he's comfortably ahead. He's setting his autopilot on neutral.
Now Crawley up on his toes for the first time in several rounds.
Tasso's finally getting a little workout. And this is what we expected him to do the entire fight. He has not done it.
We also have not seen very much switching up. Both Bramble and Crawley, there's Crawley giving a different look, but goes right back to the orthodox style.
That's what I always say about switch-up people and so forth. When it really gets down to the nitty-gritty, you go back to what you are naturally doing, and it's got you there, and you forget about the fancy stuff.
Yeah, a strange sequence to see these guys continue to switch up on each other. You rarely see that. It'd be like the right-hand pitcher coming in out of the bullpen.
They just did it again. Crawley takes the last minute of this round. He can take the first round. He hadn't had one in a long time. He needs one.
This is round 12 of the WBA Lightweight Championship. Livingstone Bramble defending for the second time.
I don't think anybody's ever pounded Tyrone Crawley's body like Bramble did through the first 6 or 7 rounds. I think that contributed a great deal to the lack of mobility that Tyrone Crawley has shown.
noting the different look, but has not troubled Bramble at all. And a good finish for Bramble. We'll be right back.
Where you going, it's Michelob.
This is it. Opening night.
Ryan, party of two.
You're on your way to the top.
Flavor's just great.
No other beer is brewed and aged like exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Table for two?
Oh, that'll be about 45 minutes.
We did it.
Where you going, it's Michelob.
Well, another long-distance bill. A bill should be an important way for a business to collect information. But if it's an AT&T bill, it might only collect dust. Fortunately, there's the billing solution from GTE Sprint. Now you can break down spending by client, location, department, or individual. So you can put that information to work, not into storage. When you've got Sprint, you've got the future on the line.
And a very confident champion, Livingstone Bramble, out for round 13, scheduled for 15. Tyrone Crawley in the red, and he took a pounding in the final minute of round number 12.
It's the kind of round that's so distressing when you're in a fighter's corner and you see your guy win a minute, 2 minutes and a half of a fight, and then the other guy comes on the last 30 seconds and punches the foolishness out of him, and you lose the round. I mean, the champion actually won that last round in the last 30 seconds. Now in his corner, they're saying Crawley's out of gas. Go get him, champ. You got gas, burn it. So let's see if he steps it up and tries to finish this.
And Jesse Ferguson out of gas in his bout earlier today against young heavyweight Mike Tyson, who broke Ferguson's jaw and stopped Ferguson in round number 6. So the Tyson Express continues.
Well, Tyson's just what the doctor ordered. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have a young, clean kid like that materialize into a champion? It would be what we need, a breath of fresh air that we need in boxing right now.
Correction, he broke Ferguson's nose rather than the jaw.
I was going to correct you, but I thought it was daunting of me to do that. And there's the changeup, however slow that was. There's a changeup on the part of a slow motion changeup on the part of Bramble. Bramble just seems to be enjoying. This is Sunday at the park here for him. I'd like to know what's going on in Crawley's corner. We cannot hear what's happening in his corner, and they cannot possibly believe they're ahead. They can't send this guy out to be cautious, yet that's what he is. He's cautious. He is just trying to sweat out the rounds. He's not trying to win them.
What are the numbers on your scorecard? Tell us. The scoring is on the 10-point must system.
Bramble 116 to 112. 4 points ahead and 3 rounds to go.
Crawley was knocked down in the second round. Nice combination by Bramble. Crawley going down for the first time in his professional career, according to his cornerman.
Crawley looks like a man who's out of ideas. Well, I tried everything. I don't know what else to do here.
Oh, and he is sent back by Bramble. Crawley is hurt again. And Crawley in big trouble. Joey Curtis stepping in. And let's see. Has he called it? Or is ushering him to the corner? No, he has not called it. He's counting it out.
He can't go on. He can't go on. That's it. Well stopped.
No, he's not stopping it. Indecisive move by Curtis.
I can't believe that.
And that is it. Well, Joey Curtis, the referee, has had a couple of tentative moments. You may recall he stopped the Dokes Weaver bout too quickly. And then they have overreacted, allowing the Kinchin-Ramos fight to continue. And again, very tentative.
Very tentative, and you saw it from the way he got up, and you saw his eyes. He could not continue, and you know the kind of puncher Bramble is. What's the point? What's the point of that? And you have to reevaluate a referee that continues to make mistakes at crucial moments.
Well, he refuses to get in there decisively. He was unsure. You could see he was about to stop it the first time, then changed his mind as the crowd was screaming. Let it continue. Yes, the fighter, of course, the fighter's going to say, I'm okay. Crawley said, yes, I can continue. And then again, indecisiveness.
That's why much better questioning has to be done than where are you or can you continue? Can you continue? The reflex of the dead man is, yes, I'll keep on going. That's what makes them great fighters. No, I think that his judgment is in question there, and also in taking away a point when it was meaningless. Now, all of a sudden, when it's meaningful, he didn't do the right thing.
All right. It is all over. Livingstone Bramble successfully defending his title, stopping Tyrone Crawley in round 13. We'll be back here in Reno in a moment.
Get this. Lists of people who eat Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Who still eats those?
Charles Bronson.
Eats Corn Flakes.
So does Christy Brinkley.
George Brett. The Beach Boys.
All of them?
George Benson.
Robbie Benson.
Eats Corn Flakes.
Yes!
Good old Kellogg's Corn Flakes. They're great taste and solid nutrition come as no surprise.
Diane Carroll.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
You guys getting hungry?
Yes!
The surprise is the people who eat them.
How about those Kellogg's Corn Flakes now?
I've got a headache this big, and it's got Excedrin written all over it. I've got a headache this big, and it's got Excedrin written all over it.
Excedrin, the big headache medicine. More medicine than any regular strength pain reliever. The most medicine you can buy without a prescription. Nothing is stronger.
I had a headache this big, but I took Excedrin, and it's gone.
Excedrin, from Bristol Myers. Excedrin, the headache medicine.
2:57 in round number 13. Livingstone Bramble successfully defending his WBA lightweight crown by stopping the butterfly, Tyrone Crawley. He had put him down in the second, and that the telling blow. You can see the legs of Crawley go, and Crawley on the way down. The referee, Joey Curtis, checking it out. And again, a very tentative move by the referee Curtis, and as we mentioned earlier, he has had problems in the past in the Dokes-Weaver bout and also in the Kinchin-Ramos fight. Now the bout was allowed to continue, but it was indecisive, and here they go again. And Crawley is put down, and that stopped it. So Bramble now 24-1-1, 15 by knockout, and the champion is alongside the fight doctor.
The champion with his manager Aluja here. That first knockdown, did that get you a lot of confidence so that you didn't press him as much?
Well, I didn't press him because I know the man trained for 15 rounds, and I wanted to make sure I had him out. I did press him for a little bit, but when I see he covered up good, I stayed away and tried to win my fight.
How about the point that was taken away from you for one punch after the bell?
Look, Livingstone Bramble, I've always been the black sheep of boxing, and that's part of it right there.
How about letting this kid continue to fight after he was obviously knocked out in this last remaining round?
Well, Freddie, I won't get involved with the politics of boxing, but I think it was a very sad thing. The man was out from the second knockdown. They should have stopped the fight at that point.
One last question. What does your manager say is your next fight? Where do you go from here?
Well, you got to ask my son. Ask him who daddy wants next.
Where do you want to go next?
Who daddy wants to fight next?
Tyrone.
He wants Tyrone next? Well, he just had Tyrone.
Yeah, he got it.
Right.
Who do you want?
Camacho.
Camacho next, and so it's back to Marv Albert after the manager's remarks.
All right, Ferdy always coming up with the penetrating questions. It is Livingstone Bramble stopping Tyrone Crawley in round number 13, so he has halted the butterfly. We'll be back here in Reno after these messages.